says, proves we can win in defining the debate. I use you say left here. Now, we don't use the left-right paradigm. That is inside of it's an artificial paradigm inside of the anti-white narrative. So they are anti-whites. Left is a subset of anti-whiteism. So you write here, arch nemesis. I use the anti-whites' own words to define them. I call them Christophobic bigots to traditional Americans. I identify them as cultural Marxists. Well, I will submit this to you, arch nemesis, that if you use anti-white in place of something like Christophobic and cultural Marxist, I've used cultural Marxist a long time ago before I found out the power of using anti-white and anti-whiteism as I was experimenting with different options. I did say that people were anti-Christian. I never used Christophobic. That sounds a little awkward to say, but I did use anti-Christian. And neither of those were nearly as successful as anti-white. And there is more to it than just we don't have the time today, and maybe we'll set up a whole show and we can go into all of the details. But rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, and arch nemesis specifically, when you use anti-white, there are a number of things taking place, not only superficially in the mind of your audience, that's one or more people, and not only superficially in your mind, but also on a much deeper level in the mind of your audience or minds of your audience, but also in your mind, something that is much, much more important, that deals with the creating of an us and a victimizer, an us and a them that victimizes, a them as the victimizer, rather than an ideology that you just don't understand and that you're just in the way of the great fulfillment. Do you see how these old terms are so weak? In their heads and in the minds of those that they are attempting to persuade, you are a roadblock to the great Marxist accomplishments that can be had in their minds. And that is something they can persuade others of. What they can't persuade others of is how, or is much more difficult, especially white others, is how it is heroic to be anti-white. So there's a great many things going on. I submit to you, drop the Christophobic and cultural Marxist, start using anti-white, and you will see a success rate that goes absolutely through the stratosphere. So if this is working for you so far, then you knock your socks off when you start using the truly powerful tools. If it is working for you, I also submit that it is a function more so of your intelligence, the force of your own nature, your personality, rather than these terms. You see, that's one of the things when I was going through and experimenting was I needed something that even a really diminutive, maybe even wimpy type of person, submissive type of person could use in conversation and win. Now, you might be above average intelligence. You might have a forceful nature and be able to use weaker tools and have success with them. But if you are having success with those tools with a higher intelligence and a greater personality and force of personality, then you are really going to see a change. You're going to go from wielding, maybe even not even a claw hammer to sledgehammer level.